Good morning. Welcome to my thought for the day. Here we are still in 1 John 2. And I was thinking, he does spend a lot of time in these first two chapters talking about light. And it does us well to think, as we are already well into the months of the year when the evenings become quite dark quite early, and they will continue to get dark earlier, until we reach the middle of December, of course. And so 8:30, 9 o'clock, it's already dark. And we need light so that we don't stumble in the darkness. You know, we could do ourselves a serious injury if we didn't have light as we walk. That's why we have street lights, isn't it, in towns and villages, and why it's wise if you live in the countryside to take a torch with you in the evenings, because you need the light. And God in Jesus has provided us with the light to show us the path, to show us where the stumbling blocks are, to show us where the dangers are, because this world without the light of Jesus is a very dark place. It is a very dark place. Look at verses 8 and 9 of chapter 2 in 1 John. It says, I'm writing you a new commandment, which is true in him and in you, because the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. He who says he is in the light and hates his brother is in the darkness still. He who loves his brother abides in the light, and in it there is no cause for stumbling. It goes on to say, but he who hates his brother is in the darkness and walks in the darkness and does not know where he's going, because the darkness has blinded him. This is all about light and darkness. And the light of Jesus is shining. It is shining so that the dangers of this world can be revealed. The dangers hidden in the darkness can be seen by anybody. This light is available. God has not withdrawn the light. The light has come into the world, and people prefer the darkness to the light. Why? Because light shows up all the darkness, and in every one of us there is darkness. And the light, when it shines, shows up our deeds for what they are. Why is it that people who live in ways that are not consistent with the teaching of the Bible get so angry when Christians disagree with their way of life or their choices? People get very angry. I think it's because their conscience, deep within them, they know that what they're doing is not what God made them for. They know it, and they react very defensively to anything that shows up the evil in their lives. But the light is there to keep us safe, from the darkness all around us. In the light there is no cause for stumbling. That's in verse 10. So the light is ours, and those of us who love Jesus, those of us who seek to follow him, sometimes it seems like the way we have to go to follow him is detrimental to ourselves. It's not what we would choose for ourselves. But if we choose to follow and deny ourselves and follow him, take up our cross and follow him, his light sheds light on all the path and all the ground around us. We don't see very far ahead in the light. I think God is merciful to us. He only shows us the next step, because we have to live by faith and not by sight. If you knew the wonderful things God had prepared for you, you wouldn't hesitate about following the path lit up by the light. But because we have inborn in us the thought that God might be depriving us of something that we would really like to be doing, we're reluctant to follow the light willingly. But the truth is that God knows what he made you for and what he made me for. He knows the things that will give us complete satisfaction, that will give us joy and pleasure in this life. Jesus said, I've come to give them life, and life in all its abundance. That doesn't necessarily mean life that is self-indulgent, but it's a life that fulfills us in a way other things never will do. When I first came to faith, I had no idea, no thought in my mind that I would ever work as a chaplain in a hospital or a hospice. Never dreamt that it would be God's calling on my life. And slowly over time, God revealed it to me. And once I was doing it, I knew it was the thing that I loved doing more than anything else in the world. But I didn't even know it was possible for a woman. As I was growing up, women were not in church leadership at all as I was growing up. It was not open, and I didn't know a single chaplain that was a woman. Now, I'd say more than half the women, the chaplains in this country in hospitals are women. But it wasn't so as I was growing up. I didn't even know it was possible. But God opened a way for me. And I'm so grateful to him for it. We can trust him. He knows how he made us. He knows the things that will fulfill our deepest desires. If we put him first, if we seek God first, whatever your biggest desire is in your heart, put it to one side and say to the Lord, even if I never have that desire realized, I'm going to follow you with everything in me, every ounce of my strength. I'm going to follow you wherever you lead me. God will give you everything you need to have a totally fulfilling life. It may be that your desire is right, and he will fulfill that. But make sure that your first love is God. Your first love, your first commitment. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. That's the truth. That's where our loyalty is. And as we walk in the light, we won't be stumbling around, and we won't fall over, and we won't fall into a pit or have a terrible experience if we keep close to the light. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. God bless you. Have a great day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.